Welcome. My name's Tom McKeown with Pinnacle Health Group. I'm involved in holistic health for over 20 years. Today I want to share with you some valuable information on how to take control of your weight. We've not been given the proper information on this, and I think you're going to see with this information I'm going to share with you today that it'll really change your life. What I put here together is a simplified understanding of weight management, and I've named it The Truth About Weight Loss. You think back of what education you've received in your life about proper nutrition, and it really isn't your fault that there's so many things going on today. The past 60 years, there's been so many chemicals, preservatives, food additives that we've been exposed to daily, that we're going to try to help you to get an understanding of this whole thing, how it affects your life. This is two pictures. One is basically on the left, your typical food pyramid that I know I was brought up with, and majority people have. And today in the modern age, you can see on the right-hand side, there's the modernized version of what they call a food pyramid today, showing you by size and portion control of what they feel you should be eating. The problem with this is that they don't address the underlying elements in so many things in what has been happening today with processing of foods. Let's look at dairy products, for instance. Most people don't realize that dairy products are 8 parts calcium, 1 part magnesium. Well, when you're growing and building bones, you need a 2-to-1 ratio of calcium and magnesium, 2 parts calcium, 1 part magnesium. But once you're fully grown, your body needs a 1-to-1 ratio. And the key is with this, that when you have a magnesium imbalance, it really affects how you eliminate. You should be having 2 to 3 healthy bowel movements a day, and most people don't realize that over time how much this affects them. If you've ever had kids or changed diapers, you realize our systems are like a sewer system, basically. As you eat, it pushes down the pipeline, and you're supposed to be eliminating on a regular basis. And of course, this is the beginning of ill health, basically. As proper eliminations begins in your life, that's when you start really compounding your problems in life. A lot of people think it's just aging, but it really is the beginning of high toxicity, and this is where ill health comes from. 80% of your diet should be fresh fruits and vegetables, and the reason for this is that with vegetables, especially raw vegetables, you're basically getting enzymes and fiber, which is what helps clear out your digestive tract. Society today, fast food, people think ketchup is like their main vegetable. It's a real problem, and this is what really causes a lot of problems today. The other thing is, again, lack of fiber goes back to not eating fresh vegetables, salads, and the portion size of these things. You should be eating a lot of fresh vegetables and fruits to really fill you, so you're not getting a lot of calories, but you're getting a lot of fiber and nutrition, right? And you can see here, men need 30 to 38 grams of fiber a day, women 21 to 25. And again, this is a part of what that whole backup in your system, holding on to the toxins that are in the environment today. And so basically, eating more fiber will help increase your lifespan. Your body's chemical factory, basically, again, the amount of fiber and enzymes in there to keep it clean is so important, and along with water. That doesn't mean coffee, soda, all these other things people have substituted for what they consider liquids, but good clean water is a basic for life. Our bodies, about 75% of our bodies are fluids, and water is the basic for good health. So your body breaks down with the caffeine, high caffeine levels that people live on. It really affects your adrenal glands. Soda is lethal, not just the sugar, even the diet soda, which has chemicals that actually have been linked to making people want to crave foods and eat more. It's very toxic for you. High fructose corn syrup is a cheap sweetener. It's what's used in all fruit juices, and people think they're giving their kids something healthy when it really affects their adrenal glands and their overall health. Again, hydration, half your body weight in ounces a day is what you should be drinking, and good clean water, right? It's essential for good health. And if you drink a glass of water about 30 minutes before eating, it'll really reduce your hunger level, and it'll change the way you think about eating. These are all underlying causes for your weight control. Once you understand how these imbalances are, it really helps you to control your weight. So it's really your mindset that will change how you feel and about food and controlling your calories and nutrition. The youth crisis today, 32% of children and adolescents are overweight or grossly overweight. 17% are extremely overweight. This is a huge national crisis. It can be directly linked to high processed foods eaten today and lack of physical activities today because of electronics. You find people spend way too much time sitting in their jobs. Electronics are controlling things. People, watching television in front of the computer all the time. There's just a lack of physical activity, but they're eating like they are doing a lot of physical activity, and it's really taken its toll on the overall health. Obesity, it basically can, really decrease your life expectancy. For every 33 pounds, it really increases your death risk by 30%. Being overweight shortens your lifespan up to an average of 9 years. Another culprit is what they have termed, this is actually a term that's been given to the chemicals and toxins, obesogens. This is basically what has been introduced in the past 60 years in plastics and pesticides, chemicals, growth hormones, antibiotics, everything that has basically entered our civilization today that is considered to be a modern convenience that is really affecting our overall health. And because of the amount of toxins, your body actually produces fat cells, and they're called visceral fat cells. As the toxic overload goes into your body, your brain is so brilliant, it basically realizes the overload. It's your master computer. It's basically saying there's too many toxins, and in order to save your organs, which are your liver, your pancreas, your kidneys, everything that processes all the stuff that you're putting in your body, it starts to produce these fat cells so they can store the excess acid and toxins in it. So again, your chemical factory is becoming a very toxic situation. Again, this is the beginning of ill health. So they're showing 95% of our foods today that are consumed are processed, and the processing, of course, destroys any nutritional value. And since World War II, we have been in mass production feeding the world, and the NPK on the screen there stands for nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. If you look at any chemical fertilizers you see, which the farmers use, and you probably use it in plants in your own garden, the three numbers on bags are like 10, 5, 10, or whatever. Those are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which is all plants need to grow, but it's certainly not what we need to stay healthy. We need 89 essential elements to stay healthy. Here's another simple thing for people to understand about calories, right? 3,500 calories equals 1 pound. So when you reduce your calorie intake, it really affects your life. So eating nutrient-dense foods that fill you up, again, drinking a lot of water, fluids, because when you have that fluid level and protein in your body, you don't have the cravings, right? So if you cut 500 calories a day out of your diet, there in a week, that's 1 pound. So that gives you a simple example. So the other example is that you take whatever target weight you would like to be. Say it's 150 pounds. Multiply it by 10, that's 1,500 calories a day is what your body typically would burn, right? That's if you exercise, obviously you'll burn more calories. But that gives you a general idea of what type of calories you can eat on a daily basis, which gives you a general outline of what you can eat and not have to exercise more or reduce your calories. So that shows you, and here again on the screen gives you the math that I just explained to you and how it will really change the way you go about it, right? Protein, again, as I mentioned, is crucial to your brain being satiated, right? If you do not get good protein, like within a half hour to 45 minutes when you get out of bed in the morning, that's when you're going to crave donuts and all the bad things that your brain all of a sudden thinks it needs. And that becomes emotions because you start thinking about different things and your brain will start to make you salivate thinking about, stopping and getting some high sugar. And, of course, that throws your blood sugar into that up and down situation, right? And that really is why the term breakfast was where you were going to break your fast, meaning you didn't eat at night, you wake up, you're hungry. So you had breakfast, which was breaking the fast. So basically your muscle is what burns your calories. Fats don't. So the more fat you put on, the less calories you burn. So that's the other reason why getting some sort of exercise, and it doesn't have to be heavy exercise, but at least moving, getting some sort of aerobic exercise, walking, anything will help get rid of the toxic overload along with drinking fluids, increasing fiber and raw foods in your diet. Blood sugar, controlling your blood sugar, as I mentioned, having healthy snacks, keeping things like walnuts, almonds, macadamia, pumpkin seeds, not peanuts, but healthy nuts that have essential fatty acids, and that key word is essential. This is what your body needs. Your nervous system needs it. Your brain is 75% cholesterol, and it needs essential fatty acids. And this is, when people have brain dysfunction, this is a huge problem. Along with a lot of people get put on cholesterol medication because they have poor diets, and that's not really good for you. What you need to do is change your food and diet to control your cholesterol. The cholesterol levels, when you start taking cholesterol medication, it actually affects your liver that controls your cholesterol. It actually produces the good cholesterol for your brain and your body, your nervous system. So as soon as you get on cholesterol medication, you'll see the side effects of it is brain dysfunction, muscle dysfunction. It affects the liver, which produces the coenzyme Q10 that your muscles need. And that's why, you should be looking at alternative ways of controlling your cholesterol other than medication, because that is certainly not the answer. Here's a quick example. This is off of McDonald's website, and obviously everyone understands what McDonald's fast food meals are about, but I don't think they realize the calorie count and what the fat intake is on these. If you look at the big breakfast with hotcakes there, give you an example, that's 1,090 calories, right? Fat calories, 510, sodium, 2150. So basically, you realize right there, there's a meal that, say, somebody wants to be 120 pounds. Well, they pretty much are done for the day because they ate that breakfast there. And there's some other examples right on there. Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, 420 calories. A non-fat, I love this, non-fat caramel mocha, a small 12-ounce, 200 calories. Well, non-fat, you wonder where all those fat calories came from, right? So you can really see how some of these things are misleading. A latte, sugar-free, of course, vanilla syrup, there's 130 calories. Well, where are those calories coming from, right? You got 60 fat calories. So, again, I want to stress to you that muscle is what burns calories, right? So you need to step off the scale because, number one, muscle weighs more than fat. So that's one of the big things. When people start getting in shape, they say, I don't understand why the scale's not showing it. Well, you look at somebody that's in shape, they can be much heavier than you, but their muscles actually are controlling their structure, right? And when you have fat, it's hanging on you, right? So muscles are what is actually burning calories. That's why people that are in shape can always get away with eating much more than somebody that isn't, right? And so that is a big factor in controlling your weight. They say you are what you eat, but really you are what you eat, utilize, and absorb. And that is why so many people have problems because of the toxicity levels in their body and the lack of the proper absorption of nutrients is why people always have this craving to eat, because they don't have the proper nutrients. And a lot of food cravings are signs that you're nutritionally deficient. And just by eating food, you think you're getting these things sometimes and you really aren't. So you need to really understand how eating properly. Again, 80% is supposed to be fresh fruits and vegetables, which will help clean and detoxify your system, along with, half your body weight in ounces of water is so crucial to putting you back into balance. And speaking of that, now we're addressing your pH level. This is something that, the doctors always look at your blood pH all the time because that's so vital to your health. Your pH level is so important that you should test your saliva and urine so you can actually see what's actually happening. And the right way to do that is first thing in the morning when you get out of bed, after you've been sleeping, because that's when your body goes into what we call neutral or the healing cycle, where it's trying to do repair, and that's when you're going to get the best reading. You cannot be taking it during the daytime typically because it vacillates tremendously just from stress, what you're eating, drinking, whatever. It changes so quickly in your urine. Your blood doesn't change as quickly, but your saliva and your urine will. So basically what you want to do is take it first thing in the morning. Don't brush your teeth or anything. Don't drink any water because that'll change it. And take your urine and take your saliva. And those will give you a good idea of what your absorption is going on in your body. So your normal range for your saliva should be between 6.3 and 6.6. Your urine should be between 5.9 and 6.6 because, of course, it's more acidic. Here's a simple chart here showing you that how nutrients are actually absorbed into your system. You notice dead center in there is where the 6.3 to 6.6 range in, and the crucial element there you see right up top is iodine. This is what controls your thyroid function, your metabolism, everything that's going on in your system. And that's why you hear so many people talking about, I've got problems with my thyroid. Well, the thyroid needs that iodine. The farms don't, fed the world since World War II, so we've stripped out the iodine out of the soils. Pretty much the only place you're getting iodine today is out of the ocean. Kelp and seafoods, you can still get some iodine there. Otherwise, you should be supplementing somehow to basically give your thyroid the nutrients that it needs to support that. And also, when you study this chart, and I'll give you contact information at the end if you're interested in getting this chart, I'll make this available along with some test strips so if you're interested in learning more about this. But you'll see on there where on the left-hand side of the screen, that's the acidic side. That's where protein comes into your diet, which is 20%, should be on the acidic side. With your protein, and on the left middle there's chromium, which is what controls your blood sugar, and that's why protein is so crucial. And on the right-hand side on the bottom, you'll see oxygen at the very bottom where the number 8 is there on the screen. You'll see in green, oxygen. That's the alkaline side, and anybody understands that the more oxygen you have in your body, the healthier you are, and that's why you need to be eating raw vegetables and fruits that will deliver that alkalized energy and oxygen into your system, along with some exercise. It'll really change your life. Now we're going back to what we talked about, the toxic buildup, And this is the beginning of changing your life. Proper cleansing, elimination in your digestive tract is the beginning of repairing any health. It also, brings your body back into the proper pH level, so you'll start to absorb nutrients. So anybody that thinks that they can starve themselves or whatever and change their lives that way, it'll be for the negative, because when you starve yourself, the body's basically going to eat the muscle because it wants good protein, and it's going to leave the fat behind, and that's why starvation diets don't work and actually cause more imbalance in your body. So the fiber enzymes are the two key factors in cleansing. So your raw fruits and vegetables are so important to every day in your life. They should be involved more and more and more. And we're not talking canned and overcooked, because as soon as you overcook a vegetable, you're going to kill the enzymes. And once it becomes mush, there goes the fiber. So you can understand how it really affects everything that's going on inside. The other thing is your bacteria inside of you should be 85% good bacteria, 15% bad bacteria. And people don't understand, but 80% of your immune system is located in your digestive system. So again, ill health is all about the amount of toxins in your body, especially in your digestive tract, because if you're not eliminating them, in an 18 to 24-hour cycle, which is what they call a healthy transit time, is what you want to be eliminating in. If you've ever been on antibiotics or anything like that, that'll really destroy the good bacteria, you need to be taking probiotics to rebuild that good bacteria. You hear more and more talk about probiotics, and enzymes are so key to rebuilding your health. And it's something that people need to pay much more attention to. Then, of course, the elephant in the room is sugar. The amount of sugar today consumed is incredible. Here, American Heart Association recommends no more than 9.5 teaspoons a day. Average adult today, 22 teaspoons a day. Children, 32 teaspoons a day. Is there any reason why people don't understand, after seeing things like this, why kids are as obese as they are? That and the lack of exercise. And people don't realize sugar is as addictive as cocaine. So start reading labels, get away from high fructose corn syrup, basically eat fruits which have natural fructose in there. People have cravings for sweets. Eat some fruit. It's going to be much better for you. You never hear about people overeating fruit the way people can ingest huge amounts of sugar very quickly. This is how sugar really breaks down our health. These are charts here showing sugar consumption in the U.S. In 1882, 45 grams every 5 days, which is equal to 1 can of soda a week in sugar, right? Today, or 2012, 745 grams every day. That's equal to 17 cans of soda by 5 days. In my math, that's over 3 cans of soda a day. I know a lot of people think, well, I'm not drinking soda. Well, you're drinking or eating equivalents of that, right? So give you an idea, a 12-ounce can of soda is 40 grams of sugar. It's also equal to 10 teaspoons. So in a lifetime, you'd fill an industrial dumpster at this consumption rate. Hidden sugar. This is the other thing that people are not aware of. Everybody loves pasta, but I'm telling you right now, this was shocking to me when I found this out, but when you eat a cup of pasta, it's a cup of sugar because that's what your body converts it into. You hear about these marathon runners carbo loading before they run. Well, they're carbo loading because that is providing the sugar they're going to burn during the run, But, people that go out to eat and eat a lot of carbos before they go to bed, that goes directly to fat. Anything you eat after 7 o'clock at night, you pretty much are going to be wearing that somewhere on your body over the next day. Ketchup, again, it's loaded with sugar. Tablespoon of ketchup is a teaspoon of sugar. And this is why sugar is causing this weight gain because of the way the body processes it. When the liver is filled to the capacity, it takes the excess glycogen and returns it into the blood as fatty acids. And of course, that's where those visceral fat cells come in, and that goes to your inactive areas such as your belly, your buttocks, breasts, thighs, everything that people realize, and see every day in the mirror when they get done taking a shower. Emotional eating, that's the other thing with the amount of stress and things are going on in people's lives. The term comfort food is for a reason. It's comforting you emotionally, and that is what the categories people fall into. You're compulsive. You have to set boundaries for that. Impulsive, that usually has to do with stress levels. People find themselves eating just like people that smoke cigarettes and don't realize they have one burning in an ashtray. All these things happen because of what's going on with the overload of toxicity, and especially what's going on with your nervous system and your brain. So these are all warning signs as these things are happening that you need to take control of your nervous system, usually a lack of essential fatty acids and nutrients that your brain really needs, and your nervous system. This is where anger comes in as toxic overload with your liver. You'll find that anger comes out of that also. The other thing, you have to be honest with yourself about these things, because the only way you'll ever change the way you are is if you change the way you think and address the problems in your life. So eating protein first thing in the morning, drinking half your body weight in ounces through the day, getting some sort of movement, getting up from your desk, going walking, doing something. In the bad weather, I tell people go to the mall, walk in the mall. Don't find excuses not to do something. Eliminating 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. If you're eating 3 or 4 meals a day, it's got to be going somewhere. So if it's not coming out of you, guess what? That's just turning into fat cells, and that really is what is the underlying problem with you don't gain 100 pounds over a week or two. These things happen. People put a pound on, 2 pounds a week. End of the year, they get another 20 pounds on. So basically, you can do this as long as you take charge and be honest with yourself. Knowledge is power. I say it's potential power because it's only when you put it into action. So make a food log. If that is a really revealing thing, if you start just writing down what you're eating, and that it'll really give you a picture of what's actually happening. Set realistic goals as far as weight loss is concerned. This is a real problem. People think that they're going to transform their life quickly. It doesn't happen just the way the pounds go on. You have to be realistic about how they come off. And again, you can't use a scale all the time. You look more towards how your clothes are fitting, because as you firm and tone, those muscles weigh more than the fat, so you aren't going to see the difference in the scale. And also reward yourself basically that you achieve these things. So you can, if you don't feel that you can eat what you want all the time, but as you achieve these goals, reward yourself by having something you enjoy to eat. But you need to account for what that is by, changing the way you eat at other times. You can't be eating rich food all the time and think that you're going to stay healthy. These are, again, just some more tips for success there. As I mentioned to you before, 25% of your calories should be in the morning, 50% during the day when you're moving, and 25 in the evening, not after 7 o'clock at night, again, because those are going to go to fat, definitely. So if you are going to eat later at night, eat very, very light. You should always go to bed feeling a little bit hungry, and they'll really make a difference in how you feel overall. When you get up in the morning, you feel hungry, eat something healthy, especially some good protein. It'll really make a huge difference in how you go. So again, I'd like to thank you and congratulate you for investing your time and watching this show today. And as I said, we're going to put the contact information up here for you so that you can Get back to us if you want any further information, the information on the pH chart that I showed and how important that is. And thank you again for taking this time and taking control of your health. Well, I hope you enjoyed that valuable information, and I'm sure that if you institute that into your daily lives, you will see a dramatic change, and you will truly be able to take control of your weight and your health.